Humbly bibbly zoobly boobly
still-
humbly bibbly zibbly bop.
I'm over here snapping still.
Absolutely.
What's up? Welcome everybody to another.
Pat, how are you, brother?
I'm doing good. Man. How are you? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just like, hey, what's going on?
Right.
Still snapping.
Yeah. So today, Pat texts me. He's like, hey, and he sends me I didn't know David come out with a new tune, and then he came out with another one. And he's like, hey, we should do a half hour on this. I'm like, all right. So here we are.
Here we are.
Of course, us being, huge Van Halen fans.
Yeah.
Huge David Lee Roth fan.
Yeah.
I waited. I was one of those people for 27 years. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Dave's coming back. It's going to happen. Van Halen can't, First off, one question.
Sure.
Hold on. A dramatic.
I got the notes. What do we got going on?
This is for dramatic effect.
Okay.
So, yeah. This is one question I have.
Yeah. Why? I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't answer that question.
But
call Dave.
Started, thinking about it because obviously I obsessed about it for about 2 hours one evening.
Sure.
But, why would Dave?
Yeah.
Then it hit me, and the timing was kind of weird because this happened right after Wolfie's big tribute at the Taylor Hawkins show. So I thought the timing was a little bit off, but Dave's never going to not use something to his advantage.
That is correct.
That's Dave.
Yeah.
But so it occurred to me why he's doing it.
What's that?
And I've looked for the other 12 tracks.
Yeah.
There's no track listing on Roth's site, davidleeroth.com.
Okay.
I wasn't able to find any track listings. So I'm assuming this is the best of Van Halen.
Oh. Okay.
So instead of the best of both worlds, now you're getting the best of Van Halen with the caveat that Dave only has to pay the Van Halen organization 10% because he's copying them.
Yeah, right.
He's covering it. He already owns half of the other, or he owns some of it. But, his deal prior, Michael Anthony was making more money than him.
Sure.
And Dave orchestrated all the, the album covers, the merch, the stage design, the arranging, and but yeah. The songs are great, of course, because they're Van Halen.
Van Halen, yeah.
But here's the thing: it kind of works against Dave in a way.
Okay.
Because it's Van Halen and Dave is singing.
Right.
Everyone's like, because when we were listening to, Ain't Talking About Love before we started this, I'm like, oh, he's muting that. He's not letting it ring out.
Right.
And this, that, and the other. And the closing, the rollout of that song is actually, I like it better than the original.
Sure.
And what's interesting in both of the songs the end clip, whoever's the guy playing guitar is doing a little tribute to Eddie. So there's a lot of different Eddie-isms from other songs
at the end there.
Within at the end of the solo and then in the rollout. But it works against him because, it's like, oh, no, Eddie didn't do that.
Right.
No, that's supposed to, so the criticism I think is going to be a little bit.
It is.
Younger kids, they're not going to know.
No, they're not going to know. I mean, it's guitar nerds are going to know. But here's the thing.
Right.
When I saw the headline, or one of the headlines, because it's been all over the place.
Yeah.
One of them said, David Lee Roth releases unknown Van Halen. So at first I was like, what? Maybe some old demos? Okay, I'm down for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I went into the article and I'm reading it, it was like, David Lee Roth live in the studio, Van Halen live. So I thought, okay, so either this is old live recordings of Van Halen, and then Dave just went in and redid his vocals now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like up to date, but had all the old recordings from back in the day. That's what that was my first impression.
Yeah.
So I was going in listening to it with that impression. And then I started, I go, that's not Eddie. you know,
Right.
like right off the bat, you can tell. But then again, you and
Yeah,
I
it's
have seen
very
how
highly
many.
compressed. I mean, like, people
Yeah,
who, it's the sound is close, of course, but
it's close, and like I was gonna say, you and I have seen so many Van Halen tributes and Van Halen
Mhm.
cover bands and whatever,
Yeah.
and now obviously nobody sounds like Eddie, but they
Well,
all
there
try
is
to get
one
that.
person,
Yeah,
and that's his son, who
yeah, it's his son.
fucking
Yeah,
killed it at the Taylor Hawkins tribute.
that was pretty cool. Yeah,
He
that was
tore it up,
pretty
man,
cool.
and good for him, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Good for him.
yeah. So, but
And
yeah, so you hear all these Van Halen tributes and you hear all these Van Halen covers.
right.
So it was just a little weird to hear different fills and things going on in some of the songs. So yeah, that
Right,
was my take,
exactly,
man.
exactly.
But what do you think about Dave himself though singing? I don't know.
Um, well, I've always had okay, me being a singer, um, when as you get older, your voice changes. He obviously didn't take
Sure.
care of himself. Dude did a lot of blow.
Right.
He drank a lot and, smoked a lot of weed, smoked a lot of cigarettes,
Sure.
but he's still out there doing it,
Right.
and he's not using auto tune or any of that crap, or
That's true. That's true.
he's letting it. And the fact that they did a live album, the Live in Japan album,
Yeah.
and they didn't even overdub a thing.
Right.
It's an actual live album. Most
Right.
live albums are not live.
No, they're all overdubbed. Right.
Yeah, so that was interesting to
Yeah.
see, but you got to give him credit. I mean, yeah, his voice has changed. He's singing in a lower octave.
Yeah.
You know, um, but that's Dave. I always loved Van Halen live. I always loved Dave live, no matter what he sounded like, because he didn't
Sure.
give a shit, man. He was out there doing it.
He's out there doing. I think he did a good job on this. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
little bit like I said. It's not.
it's
You
Dave.
know, it's Dave. Yeah. And he's still got it. He's not gonna
Right,
sing like he did when he was 18, 19, 20 years old. Obviously,
right.
I don't think anybody from that genre and that era can still do it, except for
Yeah,
there's a few. I'm not gonna. Yeah, there's a few.
right,
Um, Striper, Firehouse, those guys. They still sound the same. God bless them. But yeah, I mean,
right.
like guys like Dave. I think he did a good job vocally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Dave fan, so a lot of people poo poo on him and be like, yeah,
Right.
but like younger, I was thinking about this today. The younger artists coming up who use auto tune, they never
Sure.
have to really
Yeah.
do that much warm ups because they'll just tune him into,
Right. This
you
guy
know,
sounds better than Justin Bieber on Justin Bieber's
right,
best day with autotune, right?
right, uh-huh. But I do have to say, it does sound different
It does. Yeah.
on a whole. And I was sitting there thinking, I started reviewing like all the interviews over, the past 3 centuries that we,
Sure.
consumed, and then I started thinking about Michael Anthony. And I'm like, that's what it is.
That's what's
The bass
missing.
is thumping.
Right.
The bass is in your face. So
Yeah.
Dave kind of did a nod to fucking
Yeah.
Mike saying, "Here, dude, I finally put the bass levels up for you."
Yeah.
Because you could never hear
Yeah. His
the bass
bass.
lines.
Right.
And then once Michael left Van Halen, or he was fired, however that
Right.
happened.
However that happens.
Yeah, whatever. It's Van Halen. I was like, wow, he's a really good bass player
Right.
because he's doing all these runs, but he was just playing for the band that he was in.
Right.
You're never gonna, I don't even think Billy Sheehan would have worked in Van Halen.
No, there's a lot of musicians out there, and like I use Vivian Campbell as an example.
Mhm.
You listen to him in Def Leppard, and then you listen to him in Last in Line and Dio. It's not the same guy.
Right.
He's playing Def Leppard. He's doing whatever he's doing over there,
Yeah.
and it's got when
Like
you watch
Michael
it.
Anthony's bass playing on the albums when he did record, but even
Sure.
still,
Right.
live when he's playing, he's the Charlie Watts of Van Halen.
Right. 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 That's correct. I go
plus
with that.
his killer background vocals,
Sure.
which
Yeah.
made
Right.
the Van Halen sound
And which is missing in these
right.
new
There's no back,
recordings.
yeah. There's very
Right.
limited background vocals,
Yeah.
so that's another thing. So, and like when Dave did his Vegas residency, see, Dave keeps a lot of things in his head, and he thinks people are going to get it. They don't.
Right. No, they don't.
They don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, trust me. They just don't get it. And
But that's a very musician thing, though, right? People just
yeah,
don't get what's
and
in
I was
our
watching.
head. But
I'm
yeah.
like, oh my god, that residency that he was doing was in tribute to Eddie
Right.
because everyone was dressed in black, matching,
Matching. Right.
like funeral clothes, and he
Sure.
wore purple, which is
Right.
a color of mourning
Right.
or funeral, or
Funeral. Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Right.
But so to me, I'm like, oh, okay. But I picked that up in 5 minutes.
Sure.
But no
Sure.
one,
Sure.
90% of the people, they're okay.
They're like, what's going on here?
Yeah. Because I always have a problem like when there's a black backdrop and everyone wears black. It's like,
Black.
dude,
Right.
wear something so the people out there can see
Out
it.
there can see you. Yeah. The cheap seats.
Yeah. So, or at least, or have a background with some color.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But still, but yeah. So what are your thoughts on this whole thing?
I don't know. I'm speechless because, like you said, why? That's number
Yeah.
one. So we'll never know that. But number two, um, I think he did a good job vocally. I think the songs give the Van Halen justice. I mean, the guitar player, I forgot the guy's name, but he's not too shabby. I mean, he did a decent job.
Oh, for sure.
You're right. I mean, it's never going to be Eddie, but I mean, he was did a
Right.
decent job, and I look at it like a very good Van Halen tribute
Yeah.
that David Lee Roth is probably, kind of like you said, giving a nod to Eddie, but still,
Yeah.
it's a nice tribute. Dave, I mean, he was part of those songs. Does
Yeah.
he have the right to do it? Sure, he has the right to do
Absolutely,
that.
100%. He's got every right.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. There's 12 songs altogether. I'd like to hear more.
Well, there's 14.
Oh, 14 altogether.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've gotten
Okay.
2.
Okay. I wonder what
So
he's going to do. Release one a
yeah,
month or
so I'm going to
something.
read the article from Metal Edge
Okay.
that you sent me.
Yeah.
So David Lee Roth shares newly recorded version of Van Halen classic Ain't Talking About Love. The reworked version was cut live in the studio May 2022. So 2 weeks ago, David Lee Roth shared a previously unheard solo version of the Van Halen classic Panama on his social media channels. Now, he's followed up with another new/old track, a newly recorded version of Ain't Talking About Love. Yeah, like when Panama came out, I was like, why is he doing
Right.
Is that a sound check?
Sure. Exactly. Right.
No, but like Panama, Ain't Talking About Love was cut at the same May 3rd, 2022 session at Henson Recording Studios in LA, which Dave always has a room at.
He always does, right?
Yeah, he always has a room there. With the band consisting of guitarist Al Estrada, bassist Ryan Wheeler, and drummer Francis Valentino. As Roth explains to the Van Halen news desk, he and the band recorded 14 songs in just 2 hours and said it's all live and it's all Van Halen free, no samples, no outline. Van Halen news desk, I've been going to that website for like 23 years.
Right.
Huh. I didn't see nothing on there the other day.
I didn't see anything on there too, and I know I follow them on Twitter, and I didn't see anything on there, so I was curious.
Right.
But geez, they did that in just whatever, that quick.
Yeah. Okay, so let me finish the article here. I got squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he and the band recorded 14 songs in just 2 hours. 2 hours.
That's what I'm saying. Wow.
But if
Right.
it's Dave, they worked 4 months for those 2 hours.
Right.
Late last year, Roth surprise released a set of largely acoustic solo songs that saw him backed by a band consisting of Johnny Five on guitar and bass,
Yeah.
Greg Bissonette back on drums, Brett Tuggle, who just passed away, on keyboards, and percussionist Louis Conte. Those songs, Giddy Up, Somewhere Over the Rainbow Bar and Grill, Low Res Sunset, Alligator Pants, and Mando Bala was recorded roughly 10 years earlier and finally saw the light of day, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dave got into a point there in his solo career that I said it before, he needs a producer.
Yeah, because he was kind of squirrel and taking off on
Yeah,
his own. Yeah,
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 exactly.
yeah, yeah,
Like if I was recording now, I'd have a freaking producer.
yeah, yeah. You
You
need
know, someone to crack the whip. Hey,
yeah.
Cloud
I
Boy.
know. I know when I was in the studio and then every time I like when I did my solo album, I didn't have a producer. I produced it,
Right,
and it took me forever because I was never finished. You need that,
right.
yeah, you need that.
Yeah, that's where it's gonna be.
Right.
You know what I mean? But yeah. Oh, real quick while we're here, I have a new trailer. I just want to plug
Oh,
my merch.
plug the merch.
This is Biff Strange, your friendly neighborhood engineer, and I'm here to announce Creativity Talkin's merchandise page. Fancy! Check out the designs we got up online there. We've got beanies, t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, and more. Just go to creativity-talkin.myspreadshop.com. Now that's what I call creativity talking.
Yeah, so thanks on the heads up on that, by the way.
Isn't it great? It's great. There's a
Well,
free
yeah, I
plug
had
for those
another
guys.
place that I was doing it, and you could make
Yeah,
the numbers were higher for
yeah,
me, but half the stuff was, what do you mean you don't have XL?
right,
Like most of the guys are going to order an XL, so
right.
what's the point?
Yeah.
So they also had a better selection.
They got a
So
nice selection. Yeah, it's really cool. It's very simple. It's very
yeah,
easy. You set up, you throw in your design, boom, easy to go. Yeah,
right.
I've been using them for years. I've never had an issue. Every T-shirt, every product, I've had cell phone covers from them. I've
Mhm.
gotten T-shirts from them. I've gotten all kinds of stuff, hats. So, yeah, good, great product.
Gotcha. Oh, by the way, I PM'd you the link because I can't post on the
Oh,
Beard
okay,
Speaks, so you'll have to.
very good. I will do that.
But yeah. So Panama is one of my favorite Van Halen songs of all time.
Okay.
I there's something about that song that just
Yeah.
so that's I'm sure why he did. Plus, when they did Panama on, I don't know, it was the Grammys or the Billboard Music, some award show.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Taylor Swift introduced them, and I think that is the best live performance version of Panama that you're going to hear.
Yeah.
But that's my favorite. Yeah, that's how into the weeds I'll go. Yeah, that TV special. But I'm like I said, I'm a Dave guy, so
I love look. I love the way he has that attitude, right?
yeah, he's got
That
the swag.
sway to him, that swagger. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Mhm.
So when he does stuff like that, it's cool.
Right, and no one else can do it. And
And
then
no one else can do it.
yeah, and the younger generation don't want to sound like old man, but they just
Yeah.
don't get it.
No, they don't get
Well,
it.
half the people didn't get it when he was doing it the first time
No,
around.
no. But he's got that. So it's like when things like this come out, it's very refreshing, I guess. And it's cool to see him still, because didn't he just put out something not too long ago where he was saying, due to doctor's orders, he's going to start kind of heading towards retirement, and he was done.
Yeah, he said he retired, and then the thing came out where Jason Newsted said, "Yeah, they approached me for the Van Halen tribute," and he goes, "I can't make it better."
Yeah, that's right.
So that's kind of like when everyone was like, "What?"
Right.
And then there's been things, and then Wolfie's said things in interviews. He's like, "Yeah, go back and look at." He was very diplomatic. He goes, "Go back and look at all the interviews for my
Right.
dad, and it's all there."
Yeah.
He goes, "There's some people when it comes to Van Halen, it's very hard to get them motivated to do anything. Now we know why,
Yeah.
or this is in response to." Because Dave and the Van Halens
Yeah.
have head gamed each other.
And I wonder more if it's Alex who just doesn't want to do much.
Could be,
Yeah.
because supposedly Dave and Al talk every day.
Huh.
From what Dave was saying in some interviews, but
Yeah.
who knows, Michael's talking with Alex, and everyone's talking.
Yeah.
So minus Sammy.
It's interesting.
Sammy, but
It's interesting. It's interesting. But I wonder if they actually pull something like that off. Yeah, I mean, who the heck are they
and it would
gonna
have to be his touring band that he had in the Vegas residency,
have?
because you just can't walk in, and sure, you might be able to play one or two Van Halen songs beginning to
Right.
end, but you're not going to just kill a 2-hour concert right at
No. Right. No.
But when in the Vegas thing, he had 2 guitar players,
Right.
and I think that was just to one, to take the pressure off the guitar player,
Yeah.
because everyone was going to be like, "Fuck you, dude!
Right. Yeah.
Long live Eddie! You shouldn't be up there,"
Yeah.
But they were a younger band minus the lead guitar player,
Yeah.
and they did great, I thought. But
Yeah, I think so. And that's why.
this and all that, and
Yeah. That's why I don't think they should do anything other than maybe a tribute, because regardless of and if they do a tribute, it's got to be somebody like Vi or somebody like
well,
Satriani.
basically, Wolfie said, yeah, the whole thing fell apart, man.
Yeah.
What it was gonna be,
Right.
I've heard, is there was gonna be 2 players for each role.
Oh, okay.
So it was gonna be Alex Van Halen and Tommy Lee,
Okay.
and they'll swap off,
Huh.
swap or inner swap.
Okay.
And on bass, it would be Michael Anthony,
Okay.
and not Newstead now, but
Yeah. But it was
insert
supposed
bass
to be.
player.
Yeah.
And then on guitar, it was supposed to be Lukather
Okay.
and Satriani.
Huh. Okay.
And then on vocals, I was making you wait. You're like, yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting.
David Lee Roth and
Uh,
Pink.
Oh God, Pink, huh?
Dude, Pink would rock the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like her, man. She's the last remaining rock star.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen the video where she flies around in like acrobat around the whole stadium
Yeah.
while still actually singing?
While actually singing. That's true. She's got a voice. So.
Dude.
Yeah.
And she's got an attitude. She's got the swagger.
She's got the swagger, yeah.
Lady Gaga's got the swagger.
Sure.
There's a few people that have that swagger.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah. That's what I was gonna say too. It can't be a no-name guitar player, because no one's gonna boo Satriani.
Right.
No one's gonna, they're gonna be like, okay, man.
You probably didn't want to put Steve Vai in there because he might feel uncomfortable because the whole DLR band, and
Right.
really
Yeah.
Steve Vai and
Or Billy
you
Sheehan,
throw Billy
yeah.
Sheehan in there, and then it's the Eat 'em and Smile band, and
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
which I don't know why Dave didn't come out and just like do a tour like 10 cities with the Eat 'em and Smile band, just
Yeah. I mean, that would be cool.
Even if they play with Sammy Hagar in the Circle.
Right. That would be a cool.
You know what I mean?
I'd buy a ticket to that.
And then they could kind of, do the world heavyweights again without dealing with each other.
Yeah.
And Mike can play in both sets.
Yeah. I'm thinking now. You got me thinking. Yeah. Let me call Sammy.
Yeah. So I'm wondering what 12 other songs.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see. I'm sure.
So Panama.
Yep.
Ain't Talking About Love. They're gonna do Jump.
Yeah, that'll probably be on there. And probably let's think.
Ice Cream Man.
Ice Cream Man might be in there, yep.
Hot
for Teacher, maybe. I don't know.
Hot for
They'll do the hits. That's what they'll do.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll do anything obscure.
Running with the Devil.
Yeah, Running with the Devil. I was gonna say I'll Wait, but I don't know. I think he'll just do the hit. Well, that was a hit, but I mean,
yeah,
but I think he'll do the hits.
Unchained.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bottoms Up.
Possibly.
Do we have something from each album? Let's see. Panama. You talking about Love Jump? Got a lot of first album VH1 here.
Yeah.
Couple of 84s.
Yeah. I think
what cover song would they put in there?
I was just gonna say, as far as the cover song, probably You Really Got Me.
Yeah, that'd be better than
That'd probably be the one. Yeah, ain't gonna do Eruption.
I hope they don't.
Yeah, I hope they don't. No, they
You
should.
know, and
But
then Happy Trails.
no, no Michael Anthony.
Well, I mean, it's but it's still him.
It's
Oh,
still
we're
him.
not doing backup vocals, so
Right, that's what I'm saying. All that harmony and all that stuff going on in that song, I don't think he would do it without him.
Um,
And if he did, it wouldn't sound good.
yeah. What else would they put in there? Van Halen too. I'm the one.
Oh yeah, probably I'm the one. It's interesting. It's a head scratcher. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Is there a release date? Is there a release date on it or anything? Or no? Doesn't say anything. Right?
No, it's Dave. Dave's putting it
Yeah.
out, so it's Dave is as Dave does.
I would imagine it would be something like by Christmas or something like that.
Well,
maybe he'll put one out every couple weeks or something until all.
Oh wait, when's the anniversary of Eddie's death? He might do that. Also, David Lee
Right.
Roth's birthday's on 10/10.
10/10, right?
And Sammy's is 10/12. Put it out on 10/12.
Figure that out.
But yeah, I think Eddie's anniversary of Eddie passing is coming up.
Yeah,
So maybe he might do it then. Who knows?
Huh.
But yeah, it's going to be interesting. And of course, it's only him on the covers that we've seen.
Yeah,
so the band is kind of taking a.
Well, those guys got paid.
Yeah,
that's really.
That's exactly.
That's
yeah. So the last album he put out, and Johnny Five was the guitar player.
Right.
Johnny Five's been playing with Dave for a long time, and everyone was in the DLR band, but that was a really good. He finally put out a good album.
Yeah.
Because they went on this meandering adventure of like the spoken word.
Yeah, the spoken word thing. Yeah.
Everything was kind of sounding it's the same song again.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of felt with his the acoustic songs that he put out with Johnny.
Yeah.
That's why the album didn't come out. But to be fair, that's when he got back with Van Halen. So of course he's not going to put out a solo album.
Right. Yeah. So.
And then it was interesting. I was just watching the Steve Vai documentary.
Oh.
That just came out. And he was talking about Dave and stuff and and like how much, him and Billy Sheehan were talking about how much they taught him and they'll never shit talk him because he gave us the world. And Dave's Dave, man. If you don't like who Dave is, he's an artist.
That's it, right?
He's Dave, he's got his role, we have ours.
Right.
But
he brought them to the spotlight.
Dave said to me, he goes, I was working on my solo album, which became Passion and Warfare. And Dave's like, hey man, when you're in my band, no solo albums. Oh, how quickly the tables have turned, Mr.
Right. Well, that's funny because you look at David Lee Roth and you see his patterns, over the years and what he does. But I think
which is fine.
Oh yeah, which is fine.
It's an artist.
Like you said, it's David Lee Roth. It is what it is. But you see how he kind of brought those guys with the DLR band in the beginning there after Van Halen. It was almost like one-upping Van Halen by having Steve Vai.
Oh, it's totally one-up Van Halen.
I mean, but it's just a shame.
That first tour had so much energy and cocaine.
Yeah.
But I mean, the energy was just boom. I mean, what a great lineup. And Billy Sheehan came out a couple of weeks ago saying that, hey, Dave, I have a whole pro mixed video of that whole concert.
Does he really?
So if you want to release it, call me. I'll send it to you.
Wow.
So there is no, because we didn't think that there was a full concert of Eat 'em and Smile Band.
Oh man, I would love to see that.
Yeah, that'd be insane. Yeah, Billy Sheehan, monster player, Steve Vai. Yeah, so Dave was saying, the DLR band, he goes, I sold 50,000 copies of that album, and everyone's giving me a hard time. He goes, but I can tell you what, I made more money on those 50,000 copies than I've made on any album in my life
That's crazy.
at release, because I was only getting whatever he was getting,
Right.
a penny.
Right.
So yeah, does he have the right to cash out, do this? Yeah, he's going to be making 95% or 90% of the take.
90%, right.
And not even 90%. He's going to have, if it's divided 4 ways on the Van Halen side,
sure,
that's 92.5
right.
that he'll be making.
Still more than he made originally.
And he probably paid the dudes $10,000 each. Man.
Yeah. For 2 hours?
Yeah.
Let me plug in my guitar. I'll be right there.
Oh, for sure. Totally. But yeah, pretty interesting.
It's interesting. I can't wait to hear the whole thing. That's going to be
fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
We'll buy it, Dave.
We'll buy it.
We'll buy everything. It'll be like,
money,
what's that? Hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm fucking off. Please stand by.
Please stand by.
I have to do more homework. Me and Pat are doing another one. It's kind of like the coolest homework too. So do you want to announce who we're doing next?
Oh yeah, awesome. So everyone, you guys are really digging our crossovers. So now the next one is going to be Motley Crue. We've been kind of digging over all the other bands and figuring out what are we going to do, what's our favorite band. We had a blast with Van Halen. I think going through the Queensryche catalog was very sobering for us. Because
there's a lot of content.
There's a lot of content, but Motley Crue is going to be a lot of fun.
Right.
Both of us have a soft spot in our heart for Vince, and we see a lot of bashing on Vince Neil out there. But we are going to have a great time with this one, and I think everyone's going to enjoy.
And Vince is another guy. He's a lot like Dave as far as his vocals go.
Right.
When he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's not.
Yeah.
And when he's off, he's way off.
Yeah.
At least looks like he's gotten a little bit healthier, lost a couple of pounds.
He has, yeah. It looks like somebody's really got him and kind of reeled him in.
Yeah, which needed to be done, I guess. But
it's for his own good too.
Yeah, and they just said someone asked, "Hey, what's going on with Motley Crue? You guys broken up after the tour?" He's like, "No." He's like, "We're not even close to being done." And he's like, "We're strictly a touring band."
I think
no more releases, and
no more releases.
As they
what it is,
dude. People don't understand. No one buys a new album; they steal it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Who's buying original music?
And you're putting out those 10, 12 songs now anyway, just to really put out the one.
That's all it is.
So find the one that, it's not like they're not going to be writing.
Well, I'm sure that
they always write.
They always write.
Nikki's always going to write. So.
Yeah, you'll probably see something in a couple of years, here's a list of songs that we were writing and we just happened to record some, and then maybe at the right time they'll release something. They'll do a box set.
Okay,
yeah, right, something like that, and then add some extra songs to it.
Right, and if and maybe they are done recording, because if they are, that would be the proper respect to pay to Mick, because he wasn't really on the last album.
Right.
Completely.
Yeah,
he was,
but not everything.
DJ Ashba was on there as well.
Yeah. But he had, his health issues. God, I can't believe he's doing a tour.
Yeah. Mick Mars is one tough fuck.
Yeah, he is, man. Yeah.
And very he doesn't get enough credit.
Not at all. He's very underrated.
Like Alex Van Halen didn't get enough credit.
I know. Look who's in front of him.
Right. And then people making, giving shit to Dave, and it's like, dude, he's 66 years old.
Right.
Were you in that good a shape at 30?
Right.
I was never in that good a shape.
Right.
Yeah,
that's true.
Come on, man. But anyway, props to Dave. And
good job, David.
Yeah. So we're looking forward. We don't know when it's going to come out, if he's just going to trickle them out once a week, once every 2 weeks. Who knows?
Keep our ears open. And then when they're fully out, maybe that's when we'll sit down and do the complete David Lee Roth catalog.
Oh, yeah, because
that might be fun.
That's going to be another tough one, man.
That'll be another tough one. Well, we could do that too. That'll come too.
Absolutely.
And if anyone out there's got ideas, please let us know. You can email me at thebeardspeakspodcast@gmail.com. And what's your email?
You can get me at vince@vaudevillepres.com.
Yeah, there you go, guys.
And
shoot us your ideas.
Post it below.
Yeah.
And you know, all that kind of fun stuff, because you have to like, subscribe, and share. And you know, here's another crossover number 3.
There you go.
And
check out my website at www.thebeardspeakspodcast.com.
Gotcha. I'll make a graphic for you for the next time.
Ah, there you go.
I'm getting caught up on everything finally.
I know.
But,
And so
our last one, Queensryche Now Till Then. That was fun. That was a lot of homework.
That was a lot of homework.
You know, to do in 1 week like that should have been like a 2-week listen.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know, like for Kiss, when we're gonna eventually do.
Oh, we're gonna do Kiss. That's gonna.
And I think what we should do, because I was up to like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Possibly doing this.
Oh yeah, possibly.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
In an alternate universe. But I think we should do Kiss until they took their makeup off, and the original Kiss band.
Oh yeah, just do the original.
Go unmasked, and then
another episode for the other stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
2 years down, once we can handle the
all
families outfits of the
right
80s, and you know,
and we'll put the X in sex.
Yeah.
Lord. Anyway.
Right. All right, guys. Well, thanks again for joining another episode of Creativity Speaks. That's Pat Catalano, and I am Vince, otherwise known as V. And we'll see you next time with Motley Crue.
Yes.